So Faith is going to ask Grandpa a question here, and we're going to take turns having the kids ask questions of Grandpa.
What is your favorite, least favorite games, chores, and activities?
What is my least favorite game?
Favorite and least favorite.
Activities?
Or most favorite.
Least or favorite?
Oh. Well, I had the privilege of playing
No helpsies.
oh, glory, what was the game
Getting you
that we
stuck on
played?
the first
It's
question.
square and it has tiles and the first letter's an S.
Yeah, we played Scrabble,
There you go, you got it.
and we hadn't played that in many years, and she was kind enough to let me beat her by a couple of points.
Barely. Barely, kind of.
What was it?
What you really meant was I barely beat you. That was what happened. Fire away with another one.
Okay.
That was.
Deidre, what you want to do one?
Did you see what time it was?
So I don't know if you heard, it's kind of hard to pick up from behind the microphone, but these are 20 questions for Grandpa that we're doing for Christmas. Why don't you go sit on that side?
We
You can get in there. We want to see your
We
pajamas.
enjoyed the time together and the game so much that we forgot to attend our neighbor's Christmas Eve special.
Kind of an open house.
Yeah, it was an open
tell you what
house.
time it is.
Okay. All right, Deidre.
What was school like when you were a kid? How many other LDS children did you know? Was that hard?
Well, in high school, I was in high school for 3 years, and the first year, we had my dad's replacement as bishop. My first home teaching companion, his son, was in the senior class. I was in the sophomore class, and 2 years later, a family that I was able to collect fast offerings on for one school year. Their oldest child, a girl, was in the sophomore class, so that I guess in those 3 years we had something in excess of 3,600 other students in the school, of whom 2 were members of our ward there in Maplewood, South Orange School District.
So was that hard?
Was that hard?
Was it hard for you that way, or?
No, not at all.
Good
No.
experience?
I had many wonderful experiences because of that. For example, my favorite history teacher was one day surprised us in my sophomore year by giving us a map on which we were to trace out all the world's religions on this world map. And when we got to Utah, she told how she had been to the Mormon temple in Salt Lake City, and she said that they told her there that we believed that a black person would turn white when they joined the church. And I said, no, that's not quite right. And she actually defended her position by saying she was told that in the Mormon temple in Salt Lake City. I said, if you were in the Mormon temple in Salt Lake City, you're a lot older than you appear to me, because of course that had been dedicated was 55 or so years earlier, and at that point, the bell for transferring to the next class came, and one of the students who had known me for about 8 years prior to that said, "Miss Lipsy, don't dispute anything with them." They knew that I had in those days, a very good memory. And so when I got to class the next day, she said, "Was I wrong in what I said?" And I said, "Yes, ma'am, you were." And she says, "Well, would you like to tell the class more about your church?" And I said, I'd be delighted. And I, for the next several days, I told them about the church. I remember at the end of that time that that one of the girls, a Jewish girl, quietly asked me if we believed that Jesus Christ was the Son of God, and I said, "Yes, we certainly did." I realized I hadn't taught her very well, but she was impressed because she was reading one of the books. 2 years later, the head of the Lutheran Church movement and youth in northern New Jersey, and his girlfriend, the daughter of my scoutmaster, asked if they could come to church. We had been invited by that same teacher from whom I took a world history course. Right, no, I guess it was U.S. history course. Had invited us to come to her temple on a Friday evening to their religious services, and then stay and meet with their youth. They'd established a new youth center, and she wanted me to explain to them what youth activities we had in our church. And this girl later told me, she says, they didn't pay a lot of attention. And she says, "I wish they had." And then she asked me if she and her friends could come to church, which they did, unannounced. The bishop, recognizing so many non-member strangers in our class, announced that we were going to have a special fireside conducted by the state mission president, who was an active member of our ward. That was back when New Jersey, when there were only two stakes on the East Coast, he
You've got a lot more to go, Grandpa.
he told the principal.
Oh, Moses has the next one.
I'm sorry.
That's all right.
Where's Moses?
He's right there.
Anyway,
Just gonna sum it up because
I was really at the end. What embarrassed me was he told them what the first four principles of the gospel were, and I was very embarrassed to have a couple of my friends come up and thank him for telling them so much that they hadn't known. Well, that was embarrassing to me, because we'd had to memorize the articles of faith, and they'd been to the same classes I had been to, and surely that should not have been news to them.